The movie kicks off in an exciting scene in Mexico where two hitmen, named Danny Bryce and Hunter, are embarking on a mission. These two hitmen share a deep bond, with Danny treating Hunter like family. Accompanying them are Danny's friends, Davies and Mayer. Their target is an important official, and Danny divides the group into two teams. He and Hunter will approach the target closely, while Davies and Mayer will provide cover from a distance, and then pick them up after the mission is completed. During the mission, Danny becomes distracted when he spots a child in the target's car, causing him to lose focus and get shot in the hand. Thankfully, Hunter swiftly gets Danny into the car with Davies and Mayer, who are ready to pick them up on their way. Danny expresses his desire to retire from being a hitman and live a normal life. A year later, Danny retreats to live quietly in an Australian forest. One morning, he receives a life-changing letter containing a photo of Hunter being held captive in Oman. Urged to meet his former agent, who had worked with him in the past, Danny wastes no time in arranging the meeting. Upon meeting his agent, he learns that Hunter has been kidnapped by an oil boss named Sheikh Amir in Oman. Sheikh Amir is using Hunter as bait to force Danny to work for him. Driven by his love for Hunter, Danny agrees to go to Oman to save him. Arriving at the oil boss's residence in Oman, Danny is met with thorough search by the boss's men to ensure he is not carrying any weapons. Eventually, Danny meets the old oil boss, who reveals that he will release Hunter if Danny agrees to work for him and eliminate 3 retired SAS troops who were responsible for the deaths of the oil boss's eldest son during the war. Despite Danny's desire to retire and lead a peaceful life, he decides to take on the mission to save Hunter. After the mission is completed, Danny travels to England to seek assistance from his former colleagues, Davies and Mayer. He explains the situation and convinces them to help him in exchange for an equal share of the $6 million reward. Meanwhile, as Danny and his team arrive in Oman and start observing their first target, Harris, they plan to eliminate him. However, they encounter unexpected challenges, including an informant trying to gather evidence against them. Despite these obstacles, they successfully complete their mission. The scene shifts to Spike, who receives news of Harris's death in the bathroom. Spike is convinced that this was no ordinary accident, but the work of the hitman he has been searching for. Meanwhile, Davies, Danny's partner, pays a visit to the residence of Spike's informant, who had been spying on them. Taking the informant by surprise, Davies swiftly eliminates him by stabbing him while he's on the phone. Davies then retrieves important documents from the informant's house. Davies meets up with Danny and Mayer, sharing the news that the informant has been killed. Danny is relieved, knowing that they are no longer being spied on. Danny receives his next target from the oil boss through his agent. The target is a former SAS member named Craig, and the oil boss provides a detailed address. Danny and the team wasted no time and set off to gather information on Craig's activities. Danny observes that Craig frequently visits the hospital to see his wife. He devises a plan to disguise himself as a doctor and poison Craig. Unfortunately, Danny's plans take an unexpected turn when he is caught by Spike. Danny quickly escapes in a car, leading to a thrilling chase. After a prolonged pursuit, Danny seeks refuge in an empty building, and a fierce fight ensues between him and Spike. Both are equally matched, but ultimately, Danny incapacitates Spike by striking him in the groin. However, Danny chooses not to kill Spike, as he is not one of his targets. Danny regroups with Davies and Mayer to discuss their approach to eliminating Craig, their second target. Craig is no longer at the hospital, as he now leads the training of active SAS members. The only way to eliminate him is to infiltrate the SAS headquarters and poison him there. With a mutual agreement, Danny, Davies, and Mayer head out to the SAS headquarters to carry out their plan. Danny will disguise himself as an SAS member participating in training, while Davies and Mayer will provide support and create distractions if needed. Danny successfully disguises himself as an SAS member and discreetly poisons Craig's coffee. He then joins the training session led by Craig, walking in on the falling snow. The snowfall hampers visibility, causing Craig to walk alone. The effects of the poison soon take hold, and Craig collapses. Danny rushes to record Craig's admission of involvement in the murder of the oil boss's eldest son. Craig confesses before succumbing to the poison. Danny promptly sends sends the recording to the oil boss, who is highly satisfied with his performance. Spike receives the news of Craig's death, fueling his anger. He vows to capture Danny and his team as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Danny meets with his agent, who provides him with information about his next target from the oil boss. The agent explains that the oil boss is ill and has assigned him to deliver the data to Danny. Danny's next target is a former SAS member named Simon McCann. If Danny successfully eliminates Simon and provides video evidence to the oil boss, his mission will be complete. The oil boss promises to release Hunter, Danny's best friend, and reward Danny with $6 million. The following day, Danny contacts a woman named Anne Fraser, his girlfriend. Anne expresses her longing for Danny's return to Australia. Danny assures her that he will be home soon. Shortly after, Danny meets up with Davies and Mayer to gather information on Simon, their final target. They observe Simon engaging in a fight with some men who have carelessly parked in front of his house. Spike unexpectedly arrives and breaks up the fight. Sensing this unfavorable situation, Danny and his team decide to retreat to their base. Back at the base, Danny strategizes on how to eliminate Simon by staging a car accident. They acquire a truck and modify it to ensure Simon's car crashes, resulting in his immediate death. Danny also hires a driver named Jake who will closely monitor Simon's car, along with Mayer. The plan is set into motion, and the next day, Danny and his team prepare to execute their mission. Davies is assigned to observe from a distance, while Mayer and Jake closely follow Simon's car. Danny takes the wheel of the modified truck. As the moment arrives, the tanker truck positions itself on the road, causing Simon's car to crash at high speed. The impact leads to Simon's demise. However, unbeknownst to them, an SAS member witnessed Mayer's actions earlier. Mayer, unwilling to leave any witnesses, engages in a chase with the SAS member. The pursuit ends at a pier, where Mayer points his gun at the SAS member. A struggle ensues, and the driver, witnessing the altercation, attempts to shoot the SAS member from behind. Tragically, the bullet hits Mayer's head, resulting in the deaths of both Mayer and the SAS member. The driver reports the events to Danny, who is filled with anger and grief over the loss of his colleague. The scene shifts to Spike, who receives the news of Simon's death. Spike's fury intensifies as he mourns the loss of many of his team members. Determined to seek revenge, Spike vows to capture Danny and his team. The tension escalates between the two adversaries. Danny decides to return to Oman to meet with the oil boss. He insists on the release of Hunter and the fulfillment of the promised $6 million, as he has successfully completed all his missions. The oil boss, impressed by Danny's accomplishments, agrees to his demands. Hunter is released, and the oil boss assures Danny that the monetary award will be transferred once the deaths of the 3 targets are confirmed. Finally, Danny saves Hunter, and they make their swift departure. The following day, Danny arrives in Australia and immediately reunites with Anne, his girlfriend. He assures Anne that he has completed all his work and promises never to leave her again. However, in the evening, Danny receives a distressing call from Amar, the youngest son of the oil boss. Amar demands that Danny eliminate one more person, the mastermind behind the individuals who took the life of the oil boss's eldest son. To coerce Danny, Amar threatens to kill Anne. As a chilling warning, Amar has concealed a bullet in Anne's side. Without hesitation, Danny rushes to Anne, who is asleep, and confirms the presence of the bullet, just as Amar had warned. That night, Danny urgently takes Anne to Paris to seek refuge with Hunter. He entrusts Anne to Hunter's case as he prepares to carry out one final mission for the oil boss. In London, Danny meets Amar at a hotel to discuss the impending mission. Upon his arrival, Danny confronts and subdues several of Amar's men, who attempt to inspect him. Subsequently, he meets with Amar, who reveals that Danny's next target is a writer named Ronald Fiennes. Ronald is the mastermind behind the murder of Amar's brother, the oil boss's eldest son. If Danny successfully eliminates Ronald, Amar promises to cease troubling him and transfer the promised $6 million. Danny wastes no time in setting out to locate Ronald, his ultimate target. On the other hand, Spike is in a meeting with active SAS members, urging them to apprehend Danny, who may be targeting Ronald, the writer. Aware that Ronald is Danny's final target as the mastermind behind the murder, Spike takes measures to safeguard Ronald by transporting him to a secure building and setting up a trap bomb at the door. As expected, a helmeted figure arrives at the building, prompting Spike to believe it is Danny. He allows entry, triggering an explosion. However, The individual is revealed to be Danny's driver, Jake, who unintentionally shot Mayor. Meanwhile, Danny infiltrates the building through another entrance and successfully eliminates Ronald before making a daring escape. Spike, realizing that Danny has succeeded in his mission, orders his members to pursue Danny, resulting in a tense chase. Ultimately, Danny is surrounded and captured. Interrogated by Spike, Danny faces imminent peril as Spike plans his demise. However, an unexpected turn of events unfolds as an SAS member betrays Spike and points a gun at both Spike and Danny, demanding the $6 million from the oil boss, which he believes is in Danny's account. Seizing the opportunity, Danny manages to break free and escapes by leaping from a window. Spike swiftly eliminates the treacherous member. The next day, Spike travels to Oman to confront the oil boss. In a shocking turn of events, Spike takes revenge for his fallen colleagues by eliminating the oil boss in front of Amar, the oil boss's youngest son. Witnessing this act, Amar is content. As he anticipates inheriting the oil boss's wealth, he bestows a $6 million reward upon Spike for dispatching his father, a sum initially intended for Danny. Unbeknownst to Spike, he is being observed by Danny and Hunter. Danny confronts Spike, forcing him to stop his vehicle with a well-aimed shot. Holding Spike at gunpoint, Danny demands the money, rightfully belonging to him. Reluctantly, Spike relinquishes the suitcase. Hunter, displaying his indifference towards wealth, leaves a portion of the money for Spike. Following this confrontation, they reconcile and pledge to refrain from interfering with Danny and the Hunter, parting ways amicably. A few days later, Danny is seen picking up his girlfriend, Anne, and reassures her that he will never leave again, pledging to live with her indefinitely. With this heartening resolution, the movie draws to a close. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.